Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. I am your host, the Ref. You already know the routine. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the Scoreboard Keepers. You're around here, we don't keep receipts, we keep the score. So if you want to get on the board, make your point. If it makes sense, we'll add it to the board. If it don't, we won't. Scoreboard Keepers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. I am your host, the Ref, where I keep you up to score and everything sports, hip hop, and hot topics. And y'all see the topic tonight? Listen, we always go through sports, and I don't care if it's in a barbershop, I don't care if it's on the job, I don't care if it's just waiting for the bus, I don't care where you are. There's always conversations that come up that talk about the greats. The greatest of certain eras and the greatest of another era. And everybody would like to know, well, who's the GOAT? Now, pardon me, I have these two up here because there's been a consensus out here that these two are two of the greatest of all time. Now, I like a plethora of different receivers over the years, right? But this is the more popular topic. Now, you guys can let me know if you think it's these two, or do you think it's one or the other and somebody else should be up here? You can leave your comments down below because unfortunately, you're not on the show tonight, where you could be adding and making your points where we could add it to the board, because we're damn sure scoring it tonight. But unfortunately, you're nowhere around. So by the time you see this, you're probably going to wish you were here, and that'll give you some insight on what you need to do next, which is what you need to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thumb up the video, okay, and be a part of our race to 10,000 subscribers. That's where you want to be. Where else would you want to be? You want to have these conversations with the Ref, okay? That's what you want to do. And I like both of these players. I love their careers. I mean, what can you say? They both were dynamic talents. So, over here, we like to get to the bottom of things. Now, we're not going to make this a one and done, because we're going to actually have to revisit this as well, because we just want to show some of the stats because of the longevity that both of these players had in the NFL. And this is not something that you can just say, okay, this guy was better. But remember, over here, we don't keep receipts. We keep the score. And we know that men and women lie and numbers don't. So that's all that matters over here on this platform. Okay? So, of course, without further ado, we're going to head on over here to the scouting report. And we're going to get this clock rolling. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is amazing. Who's the best ever? Jerry Rice versus Randy Moss. You got mossed. Y'all seen it? Where do you think that came from? Okay? You guys know. You guys already know. So, and Jerry Rice, I mean, what more can you say about Jerry Rice? We all know who Jerry Rice is. Super Bowl winning Jerry Rice. He has a lot of them. Let's just compare the tail of the tape, okay? I'm going to get me a sip, all right? Because this is going to be interesting. The football games are great today. All right. I don't know what games you guys are out there watching, but there's some great matchups going on today around the league. And I mean, what a great day for football. And the weather's starting to change as well. And so it is what it is. Let's see. All right. Jerry Rice. Okay. Career receptions is what we're going to start off with first. Okay. Jerry Rice is home. Randy Moss is the guest. Okay. So we're going to switch that right on over to there. Career receptions. Jerry Rice had 1,549 receptions. Randy Moss had 982. Jerry's on the board. That's a big that's a big stat. That's a big stat by Jerry Rice. I mean, and I mean that's a lot of targets as well. You catch 1,549 balls, man. That's a lot, man. I mean, you got to think. Like, I mean, just do the math. If you played 10 seasons and you caught 100 balls a year, just imagine how hard it is to catch 100. Most receivers catch like 50, 60, 70 balls. But I mean, when you do the math, and as long as he was in the league, I mean, man, that's averaging out to like 70, 80 catches a season. You know, I mean, just if you catch that amount of balls today, you're going to the Pro Bowl. You'll be considered one of the best players in the league right now. I mean, the only one that's out there really doing that right now, that's catching those kind of balls and that many balls and making it look like it's him and not the system, is Jamar Chase. So that'll give you an idea or a dipstick on how great Jerry Rice is. A lot of damn balls, man. Balls. Next category. Career receiving yards. We have the scouting report. Career receiving yards. Jerry Rice has 22,895 yards. Randy Moss has 15,292. Jerry Rice is up 2-0, guys. Okay. Jerry Rice is up 2-0. If some of you guys have never seen him play, you might want to go in and take a look-see. He took a lot of pride in his craft, and it had to be respected. Put a lot of fear in a lot of defensive backs' heart, and most times they knew they could not stop him. The only thing you could do is contain him, and same goes for Randy Moss. That's how You Got Moss came about. Randy Moss was not only was he big, Randy Moss ran a 4.2 40-yard dash, ladies and gentlemen. Randy Moss was like 6'3", 6'4". And he ran a 4.2 40. And guess what? He could jump on top of your roof. Do you guys understand that? You know how hard it is to defend that? It was almost indefensible. Which is why I consider him the greatest long ball in the history of the game. Where you could just throw it up to him and he's going to come down with it. If it was him one-on-one for a 50-50 ball, he was coming down with it. Or he was either going to out-jump you or outrun you. We haven't seen that in the league since him. You haven't seen that in the NFL since Randy Moss, where if he could out-jump you and outrun you. Think about it. That means somebody like, give me a defense. Somebody, let's just use the Eagles because they are the most recent Super Bowl winning team. They don't have a defensive back that would be able to play him one-on-one. Quinyon Mitchell would be too small. Cooper DeJean would be too slow. there's nobody over there that would be able to guard him. You would literally, you would have to double him uh, more often than not. And if not, he's going to make you pay. Simple as that. So Randy Moss, I mean, guys, you just got to see the footage. I mean, most times people will say like you had to be there. Well, you got to go back and look at that footage and just watch him. It's amazing. Next category: career receiving touchdowns. Jerry Rice had 197 career receiving touchdowns. Randy Moss had 156. That's another point for Jerry. But guess what? That's impressive by Randy Moss to be that close to Jerry Rice in touchdown. Because if I'm mistaken, uh, Jerry Rice played 20 seasons and Randy Moss only played 14. So do the math. So technically, I would be ready to give Randy Moss a point here, but I can't because the numbers are what they are. A part of your longevity in the league is being in great shape, and Jerry Rice took pride in that. So I can't take a point away from Jerry Rice simply because I knew how serious he was about longevity. He still thinks he can play. If you guys ever see him, even when he retired, he remained in shape. He's in shape right now. He was like, this is where T.O. gets that stuff from, guys. Why do you think T.O.'s still in shape? Did you know T.O. played under Jerry Rice and all of those guys? He came in right after them with the 49ers. That's that. So the history of those receivers and that, you know, that type of brotherhood that they had and that type of pride that they had in being the greatest receivers on the planet, it was this thing going on in San Francisco for a very long time that people just could not stop. And T.O. is a product of that. He's still in shape. So I'm pretty sure he got that from his mentor. Okay, or the person that he would have wanted to be like when he came into the NFL. And especially stepping in those shoes when you're playing for the San Francisco 49ers, who were dominant. They were the New England Patriots of that era. So I can't take a point away from Jerry Rice simply because he played 20 seasons and Randy Moss only played 14. Next category. Career total touchdowns. This is receiving plus rushing plus fumble returns. Okay. Jerry Rice has 208. And Randy Moss, they don't have his number here. Okay. They don't have his number here. So they have an asterisk by Randy Moss' name because he did something quite special. Okay. Randy Moss has they consider it a unique record because he recorded 23 receiving touchdowns in one season in 2007, and this is an NFL single season record. This is a point for Randy Moss. 23 touchdowns for a wide receiver. Remember I was telling you guys about that go ball? That is so impressive, man. So impressive. That's one hell of a stat to show you how dominant of a force he was. Shout out to Randy Moss, man. Shout out to Randy Moss out there. I mean, man, from West Virginia. You know, you see, talk with that Southern drawl. He from West Virginia. Okay? Went to Marshall. Unbelievable, man. Shout out to Randy Moss, man. Because I mean, listen, I seen it. I witnessed it. It was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable thing. So you definitely get a point for that, brother. I mean, for 23 receiving touchdowns in one season in 2007, when defensive backs were still able to take your head off. If Randy Moss was playing in today's league, he may have 40. A prime Randy Moss in today's NFL, which is so pass happy, he listen, I definitely think he would have 30. He would have 30. But if he was pushing it and he had the right chemistry around him, he may put 40 touchdowns up on you. He may put a 40 piece up. You know what I mean? Something that probably could never be touched again in the NFL. So, okay, so we went down, and our next categories was season played. We all know that Jerry Rice played 20 seasons, and Randy Moss only played 14. So I'm giving Jerry Rice a point for his longevity in this league, because after he went from San Francisco, he ended up playing. He had a little stint with the Las Vegas Raiders, and let me just tell you, which was formerly the Oakland Raiders. And Jerry Rice damn near went to the Super Bowl with that team. They damn near went to the Super Bowl. I actually thought they got robbed in that game. It was a playoff game in the snow, and some weird things took place. But I thought the Raiders were going to go to the Super Bowl that year. And Jerry Rice was Jerry Rice, still running good patterns, still catching the ball, still being a threat. And it was impressive. He didn't care who was on the other side of the field. He didn't care about your name, your age, and any of that. He was going to bring it to you. So that's a point for Jerry Rice, man. 20 years in the NFL? What? And guess what? I don't remember him missing many games. Like, I don't remember him being out for any long period of time. He took care of his body, man. And even back then, remember I was telling you about like how these things rub off? Ladies and gentlemen, Shedeur Sanders is in the game. Shedeur Sanders in the game. Football alert. Football alert. Shedeur Sanders is in the game against the Baltimore Ravens. Got an alert. We got an alert, ladies and gentlemen. We got an alert. Shedeur Sanders is in the game. Took a sack. Okay, so 20 years in the league, 20 years without missing any long period of time is very impressive. Okay, very. Pro Bowl selections. Next category, Pro Bowl selections. Jerry Rice appeared in 13 Pro Bowls. Okay, Randy Moss, 6. A point for Jerry Rice, man. Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is an unbelievable talent, y'all. I'm just telling you. 13 Pro Bowls tells you a lot about what your peers think about you. Okay, I mean, when you can get there 13 times, man, you know, some people just try to get there one time. And guess what, guys? There's extra money that goes in your pocket when you make it to those Pro Bowls. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but if you make it to those Pro Bowls, it's extra money. That's like NBA players making it to the All-Star game. You get to have some extra money put inside of your paycheck when you go to that window on Monday. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens. You get that extra cash. And I'm pretty sure Jerry Rice wasn't worried about that. He just wanted to be the best out on the field at that time. All right, so let's go to let's go here. Some of the things that people say about Jerry Rice is that you know, the GOAT claim is that it's because you know, he holds many of the all-time receiving records, and I know some of them. It may be the receptions in a season may have been broken. I think that may be by Julian Edelman, possibly. He was with Tom Brady. I know it was one of them guys that came up there and kind of got that record. It may have been 100 receptions in a season or something like that, 102, something like that. But Um, and then like I said, Randy Moss with his touchdown. Uh, these things we're talking about is GOAT talk. This is GOAT conversation because you're talking about numbers that are still standing to this day that have yet to be broken. Jerry Rice, his athleticism score is 101.6. Top of his 1985 wide receiver class. Okay. Randy Moss, athleticism, burst rating shows elite traits. His catch radius and his burst score. The metrics it ranked the highest in the percentiles. So they both have high scores in athleticism. So I'm not going to award anybody a point on that because I'm going to consider that one a tie. Because they both have good size. They both had good hands. Jerry Rice took pride in running his routes. Randy Moss took pride in finding the ball at its highest point. And I don't think I'm going to award anybody a point there because I think they are pretty much even there. Career average, here's a good one. Career average yards per reception. Now this is a good category that could tell you who was actually doing what. Career average yards per reception. Jerry Rice is 14.8 based on 22,895 yards and 1,549 receptions. Randy Moss is 15.6 in 15,292 yards and 982 receptions. So this is a point for Randy Moss because as we told you, his go route, his go ball was unmatched. We haven't seen anything like it since his day. We haven't seen anything like it. Nothing has come close. Nothing has come close to Randy Moss, being able to be on your 20-yard line and just say go. He would see a man on him and just raise his hand and say, "Yo, I'm going." And you would know he's going, but there's nothing you could do about it. The only thing you could do is hold on to him or pray, one or the other. Next category. This is seasons of 1,000 plus yards receiving. Jerry Rice has 14 seasons of 1,000 plus yards. And guess what? It's an NFL record. Randy Moss has 10. That's very high, but it's fewer than Jerry. That's a point for Jerry Rice. That's a point for Jerry Rice. Next category, gains with 100 plus receiving yards. Now, this is what we're talking about, guys. In order for him to be up there in 22,000, plus yards for his entire career, you had to be having some 100-yard games, man. Had to be. Jerry Rice gains with 100 plus receiving yards is 76, an NFL record. That's incredible, man. It's just incredible. It's just incredible, and we're just gonna go ahead and give this point to Jerry Rice because it's not even close to Randy Moss. Okay, it's not even close. Jerry Rice. Let's see. Let's go with the his career playoff receiving yards is 2,245 with 22 receiving touchdowns. And they couldn't even they couldn't with this particular category, they couldn't even give a stat for Randy Moss because Randy Moss' team success wasn't as good as Jerry Rice. So this is another point for Jerry Rice. Randy Moss, he wasn't in the playoffs enough to even compete with Jerry Rice on that level. I mean, maybe when he got with Tom Brady, and the Patriots, but it wasn't enough because he started off with the Vikings. Okay, and it's just not enough. It's just not enough on his resume in the playoffs to compete with Jerry Rice. So, stretch of consecutive games with the reception. So it means that are you going to catch a ball every game you in? Well, Jerry Rice had 274 straight games with a reception, and it's an NFL record. And that's another point for Jerry because Randy Moss was not even in the ballpark. It goes on to say about Randy Moss that playoff and team success caution. Moss postseason numbers and team success are less dominant compared to Rice. For example, Randy Moss had 47 receptions, 865 yards, and 10 touchdowns in 12 playoff games. So it's not even close when you talk about that number for Jerry Rice, who had 2,245 yards with 22 receiving touchdowns in his playoffs. So that's impressive, ladies and gentlemen. And as you guys can see around here, we don't keep receipts, we keep the score. And it looks like Jerry Rice kind of running away with this thing. Now, we're not going to declare him the actual winner just yet until we read your comments down below on who do you think is the greatest of all time. And should Randy Moss even be in this conversation with Jerry Rice? Or should Jerry Rice not be in a conversation with Randy Moss? Do we have the two best up here? Or do you guys think that it's somebody else that should be up here? I need you to get down in those comments, right? Leave your opinion so we can put it up here on the board. Because right now it seems like Jerry Rice is running away with this thing. And we love Jerry Rice over here. We love Randy Moss as well. But in order to get to the bottom of things, you gotta bring it over here to the scoreboard keepers so we can put it on the board. Keep the score. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude this episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. Shout out to Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, two of the greatest of all time to play the game. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. We look forward to you guys to coming and joining the family over here. And leave your comments down below because we are going to dialogue on this. This is big. Jerry Rice or Randy Moss? Who was the greatest of all time? Leave it down below. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the next episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. I am your host, The Ref. And until then, God bless and score. Peace.